Mesachas Eruvin daf ayin tes. The sugi before ayin ches and beis discusses a lot of charitz ben shtei chatzeirot. If you have a ditch that goes through between two chatzeirot, if it's oimek yud v'rochav dalet ma'arvin shnaim ma'arvin echad, if it's less than 4 tfachim across, you could be ma'arv 1. The Machlokes Rishonim had to understand this halacha of ma'arvin shnayim, that you can't connect the two chatzeirot if it's rochav dalid. The Ritva says it's because there's a mechitza, and the Chacham Tzvi explains that the understanding is since there's a ditch that's 4 tfachim wide and 10 tfachim down, so therefore it has a mechitza underneath it, and you say good asik mechitza goes up and divides the chatzeirot into 2. However, the Meiri is mashma a different pshat, that since there's a reshus underneath that divides the 2 areas, even without a mechitza on top. The Chacham Tzvi explains, and it's much like that in Rashi and Ritva, that if it's less than 4 tfachim across, the reason why you could be ma'arev together is because people could walk over the hole. Since we could walk over the hole, therefore it doesn't have a halacha of a mechitza, and it's ma'arvin echad. The Chaznish says, if it's less than 4 tfachim across, then the area in the hole doesn't have a halacha of a mechitza, and it's halacha, it's more in Rashi, in Eruvin daf hey, in Shabbos daf tes, in many places that an area that doesn't have dalal doesn't have a halacha of mechitza, but it doesn't have a halacha of mechitza, so therefore you can't make a good asik on top of the hole, because inside the hole doesn't have a halacha of the mechitza because it's not dalit al dalit. And bemis is tzorich ian gadol on Rashi. Why does need the svara of mechitza in dresses? The people walk over the mechitza. Ayin the Chazon Ish that he's matche devei Rashi v'tzorich ian. The choice of word chiddush gadol in devei Rashi. The reason why Rashi had to explain that the reason why there's no mechitza when it's less than 4 tfachim across is because people walk over the mechitza. They didn't say because there's no mechitza on bottom and there's no good asik. It's mashma and Rashi that it's because it's cholok, the din mechitza of between Rishus Yachid and Rishus Rabin, and mechitza between Rishuyos, like we mentioned in the shir on the Ayin Zayin, that these 2 mechitzas are chalukim b'ikki yisoid gidrom, and only by mechitza between Rishus Yachid and Rishus Rabin the mechitza is making the Rishus. However, between 2 Rishuyos it's just separating. So since it's just a mechitza to be mafsik between the Rishus, such a mechitza has a chashivas even if it's less than dalal adal. So therefore the mechitza in the hole has a din mechitza legabi that to be mechalik Rishus, and therefore it could extend and could asik mechitza to be mechalik with 2 Rishuyos the tzorichin oid bezeh. Moving further on the Ayin Tesem and Aleph, it's more in the Mishnah that if you have a pile of hay that's 10 tfachim high, ma'arvin shnayim v'ima'arvin echad, the fact that it's 10 tfachim high is considered mechitza between the 2 Rishuyos. And the Gemara says, as long as you shouldn't take the teven off the mechitza and put it teich kupasai. And the chashash is that they will be nismayed from the shear of 10 tfachim. The Rishonim ask a tremendous kasha. Why are we concerned that the mechitza will become less than 10 tfachim? There's a halacha of Shabbos hoyo v'hotra, and since the beginning of Shabbos it had a mechitza, it should continue like that till the end of Shabbos. So there's many mahalchim in the Rishonim to answer this kasha. The Goin Yaakov says a tremendous chiddush that on something that you take away biyadayim, you don't say kivin chotra. The Ritva says, and the Rosh is much like that we're not concerned about this Shabbos, we're concerned, the Ritva says you're concerned about next Shabbos, and the Rosh says we're talking about before Shabbos, we're not talking about on Shabbos. Then the Rajba, the Ritva say a tremendous chiddush. They say that since Ben Hashmoshes there was an isser to take away less than 10 tfachim and to imayed it from the sheer hechshem mechitza, you say migudus katzoy Ben Hashmoshes is katzoy the kul yoyim, and although we don't paskin like you say migudus katzoy Ben Hashmoshes katzoy the kul yoyim, the gabit is a muktzah, but it's enough to make it a issa stiris oil. It's very hard to understand. Divrei Rishonim, as Rishonim say, because of muktzah or because of stiris oil. The Rashba is mashma. The bottom line is because it's stiris oil. It's tzarchian who has have to migud diskatzoi. It's mashma from the Rishonim that migud diskatzoi is a klal, and that through that it gets established the status of the matziv for the entire Shabbos. How could you compare these two halachas? It's mashma also from the Rishonim that if it wouldn't be for migud diskatzoi, that it wouldn't have isser stiris oil, because since kivan shahut, and therefore it's not considered you're taking away or oil hamateres, because the oil hamateres will continue because there was mater ben hashmoshes. And it's tzarchian, so how does that answer? Because migud is katzoi, it's mashma because the nekuda of oil materes is not because you're taking away a heter. Oil materes gives a chashivas. Therefore, since it's hooked for ben hashmoshes, that this has a chashivas of oil materes, it continues like that be'emtza Shabbos as well. Ein Sefer Reshes Yaakov in Sukkot Daf Tezayin declares what the Hagdorah of oil materes is for Ayin Sham. The Sefer Talmidei Haridva says a different teretz that over here it doesn't pass Kivan Shehutcha because it's less nuhul the mechitzas. Since the mechitzas are not there anymore, if it's less than 10 tvachim, you don't say Kivan Shehutcha. This is a tremendous chiddush, even though it's only a mechitza between two reshuyas. It's not making the mechitza into Rosh Hashanah, the tzarchian oid bezeh. Moving further on, the Gemara says that for Eruv chatzeirot, you have to magbiya the Eruv from the karka tefach. Rashi and Tosfos understand that you have to pick it up to be maknet to all the bnei chotzer. The hagbah on the kinyan of Eruv chatzeirot has to be a tefach. Tosfos says, although normally you need 3 tefachim, over here it's different because only midrabanan. The Netziv explains that the reason why you don't only need a hagbah tefach is like Yisod we mentioned from the Briskerov in the Shurim on the Memvav and many other Shurim, that the kinyan in Eruv chatzeirot is not a regular kinyan moment. You just need a schus la'achila. It's a mesuyim dike kinyan gabi Eruv chatzeirot, and therefore hikilu you only need a hagbah tefach. The Rambam has a whole different mahalach in the sugya that the hagbah tefach is not going because of a kinyan. It's even if all the people of the chotzer gave their own pass, you still have to pick up the erev tefach to make a nikkur and clear that you're making this pass into a erev. The Taz says very interesting that even if the Erev went into someone's hand higher than a tefach, he still has to pick it up a tefach high. You have to do a mice of picking it up l'shem Erev. That's a chiddush because those achronim say that since the mice you're holding it higher than a tefach up or higher than 3 tefachim by other kinyanim, that's enough, and you don't need to do a mice of picking it up. And it's a tremendous discussion in the achronim. In the Aruch HaShulchan over here that says as long as it goes up mikoychoy, even if you don't take it in your hand and pick it up, it's also enough to be considered a kinyan. The gabe erev chatzeirot, ayin toises Kedush Naftan Test, it's tremendous discussion. Gabi Kinyan Agbor, if a chayfetz goes up because of you don't pick it up, if that's considered a Kinyan Agbor. The Bir Halacha says a very interesting point over here. He says that not necessarily do you always need a Hagbor Tefach. He says if the Erev Chatzeirot is totally in your hand, then you don't even need a Hagbor Tefach. He says the Nesivus writes that if a chayfetz is totally in your hand, you couldn't be kinyan yad, even without the regular hagbah of gimel tvachim. Yodei Shalodam is koine, but he says it's only when the entire chayfetz is in your hand. If it's sticking out on the side, it won't work. There are those that koinim says that even when it's sticking out, it still could be koine mekinyan yad ayin b'sizalman. And B'shuyev some garbage lead over here says that Aaron Stein is a koine levacha asked the kasha on the nesivis, and it's moving to be Allah over here that if it's going out, you can't be koine b'din yad it's tzarchim from the pasuk that says in matzah to matzah yibiyadeh gneva that when you take a shor v'seh yichayv dal v'hei and it's biyadeh it's in your hand, and definitely a shor v'seh is going to go out of your hand v'tzarchim. Why is that considered biyadeh? It could be that gabi gneva it's different, that you don't need a ma'isa of bringing into your shus, as long as you take it out of the rishus of the nignav, it's enough. V'ayin, every ezvi that says such a svara, v'tzarech hin oit.